It's a lunch hour in Vegas, and we're on the dot with Dot and Mia here on PHLV Radio.
Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. It's like spring today, right? It's a beautiful weather. Welcome to On the Dot. My name is Dot.
And I am Mia. Welcome to On the Dot.
And here we are. Yes, Mia. So, what's going on?
We're wearing spring colors today. You're wearing orange, and I'm wearing green.
Yes, right. So, and our guest is wearing something blooming. Yes.
There you go. Hello.
All right. So, who do we have today? What do we have today, Mia? It's a great day. I know it's a very important topic we have today.
Yes, very relevant to our letter sender.
Yeah.
Well, last week I just wanted to share the very, very good news. First of all, my niece is recovering very, very swiftly.
Nicely.
Thank you. Thank you for my sister wanted to thank everyone for the prayers, primarily for the support and the votes.
The votes, so she won.
No, not
yet.
yet.
Not
It's
yet.
not
Okay.
over yet.
All
But the stakes went up from 20,000 to 50,000 now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because of the support, because of the votes. Yeah, so it's 50,000 now. Thank you very much. From my sister.
$50,000?
$50,000 from 20.
Oh, all right.
The price
Okay.
went up from 20 to 50,000.
That is a huge leap. Yes.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you to our listeners who pitched in, who voted. Thank you so much for those who sent cash. Thank you.
Yes. So she wanted to
Alrighty.
thank everybody who helped.
Because this is a public service brought to you by PHLVradio.com
PHLV, thank you so much
and
for
the University of the Philippines Alumni Association of Nevada.
yes.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So over the weekend, my client called me and she sent in a letter
Okay.
which is relevant to our topic. And I told her that the topic for this week is about estate planning. And I told her that we could not give legal advice. And I gave her a number for a probate lawyer.
Okay.
Because, as I said, you and me, as program host, are not lawyers.
Oh, no, I'm not a lawyer. My father was a lawyer, though.
And our guest
Uh-huh.
and PHLV, our sponsors, and who else? Compass, my broker.
Okay.
We're not allowed to give legal advice.
No, we're
So she's in touch. Her friend is in touch with this probate lawyer already.
Okay.
So she said, just share my letter to the listeners
Okay.
with the hopes that,
That's what we'll do.
yeah, she'll get suggestions for her friend for the
Yes.
letter that she's sending. So, yeah.
Good job.
So, yeah, that's it. So, can I read the letter?
Sure, Mia. Maybe you want to adjust your mic. Yes, there you go.
Where's Creo?
There he is.
I want Creo seen.
Okay.
There.
There you go. He's playing hide and seek.
There you go. Yes. Okay. So the letter goes. Where's the letter? Oh, hang on one second. So what is, hang on, estate planning? Estate planning is the process of anticipating and arranging during a person's life for the purpose of management and disposal of that person's estate.
Okay.
In the event that the person becomes incapacitated and after death. The planning includes the bequest of assets to heirs and may include minimizing gift, estate, generation skipping transfer, and taxes. Estate planning includes planning for incapacity as well as a process of reducing and or eliminating uncertainties over the administration of a probate and maximizing the value of the estate by reducing taxes and other expenses.
Oh, we will have a deeper discussion on that, yes.
The ultimate goal of the estate planning can only be determined by the specific goals of the estate owner and may be as simple or complex as the owner's wishes and needs directs. Guardians are often designated for minor children and beneficiaries in incapacity. Ooh, parang college.
Yes.
So letter goes. Dear Dot and Mia, my friend's dad has been in the hospital for almost a year and a half now. They're not allowed to see him. Their parents own a home, but the mom passed away. The home is under his dad's name, and his younger brother still lives there and pays for everything. They want to know if there's a way for them to sell the house. With his dad's situation in and out of consciousness and inaccessibility without losing it to probate. Thank you, Bing.
Hi, Bing.
So
Thank you
Bing's
for
my
your
client.
letter.
So she's asking for her friend.
Okay, hope if you're listening right now, Bing, we hope that you get a lot of information from
Yes,
our guests
from
today.
our listeners also.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So shall we invite him in?
Okay. So our Yupaan board member highlight is a UP Diliman graduate of BS Business Administration, major in marketing, and the president of the Marketing Association 1967 and 1968.
You're so happy, me.
And since graduating from college, he was hired by Procter & Gamble Philippines and was the international sales manager of Mexico. I was so happy reading it.
All right.
Yeah,
And you
from-
memorized it. You
I
seem to have
memorized
memorized it.
From the Philippines to Mexico to Saudi Arabia to LA to Cincinnati, and retired with Procter &
Oh
Gamble.
my God.
Yeah, international sales manager.
Yes.
And then, so he retired from there. And then, now he's a current stock market broker, investor, and a golfer, and a charitable cause advocate of Film Charity of Las Vegas, and Dela Cruz Charitable Trust, and Dela Cruz Foundation, Mr. Sid Dela Cruz.
Woohoo! Welcome, Tito Sid.
Yupaan board
Thank you.
member 2.
Welcome. And
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
yes, we are glad you are here.
Welcome, Tita Sid.
So were you able to read the letter or hear it? Listen to the letter of Bing? A little bit, Tito Sid? How's our audio? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah,
Tita Sid.
Can you hear us, Tito Sid?
Okay.
Is there a slight delay?
Estate planning is a very important subject because it affects almost everyone, including the one who wrote the letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are not here to give any legal advice, any estate planning advice. Okay. I'm going to talk from a user's perspective, and our objective is to give some ideas to our viewers and listeners so they get a good understanding of what is estate planning, what it is all about, and why they have to have it. Estate planning affects almost everyone, but many people don't know anything much about it. About 60% of U.S. adults are without any will or any living trust or any estate plan.
I'm one of
Right.
them.
60% of U.S. adults.
Okay.
And when it comes to people with children under the age of 18, the number is even higher.
Correct. Yeah.
Did you know that many famous people, many celebrities, died without a will or without a living trust or without an estate plan? For example, Prince, the pop artist,
Yes.
died at the age of 57
Yes.
with $200 million
Wow.
of
his money, yeah.
assets at the time of his death.
Right.
Singer Bob Marley, Sonny Bono, Martin Luther King, and even
Wow.
closer to home, Howard Hughes, who
Oh,
owns or
wow.
who used to own Summerlin,
Yeah.
25 to 30,000 acres here in Nevada. Now
Okay.
the Summerlin community, named after his grandma, Jean Amelia Summerlin. He died without a will.
Wow.
We better get our
And there
will
was
going.
an ensuing lawsuits after lawsuits in Houston, in Las Vegas, in Utah, in Los Angeles, almost everywhere. Everybody is trying to get a piece of the pie.
Of
Wow.
course.
Wow. So what made you, Tito Sid? What made
Okay.
you get
From
into
from a
that?
user's perspective,
Yes.
okay, is what I'm going to talk about.
Great, great.
And I started my estate planning in mid 1990s when I was assigned with Procter and Gamble in Mexico. And my financial advisor and my lawyer advised that I have an estate plan because my children are everywhere, and I was in Mexico working for Procter and Gamble, and that if something happens to me, then there's got to be an orderly transition.
Right.
And so starting then in 1990s, I started reading and investigating and researching about estate planning. And together with the estate planning, of course, are investments, insurance, stocks, annuities, and all those things.
Okay. So it makes sense that you're doing that. When did you do
Yeah.
that? When did you have your estate plan?
90s. In the 90s.
In mid 1995.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So
Now, uh, why do we have to have an estate plan? It
so
is to
that
protect
yep.
yourself, protect your loved ones, protect your assets, and make sure that they go to where you want them to go now, or when you are incapacitated, and even after life. The next question that one would ask is, when should you do it?
Yeah.
The answer is you should start doing it now.
Now na.
Yes,
Don't
because
wait.
changes in your life, marriages, divorces, births, deaths, remarriages, illness, disabilities, relocation from one state to another, changes in your assets, in your money, financial situation, changes in your insurances, personal properties, life properties, all those things
Okay.
would be important
All right.
and would be part of estate planning.
Does it mean that for every change that happens to you, you update?
You have to have some update, and some are minor ones and just a tweak, but
Okay.
there could be some major ones, especially if there are changes in the federal and state laws
Okay.
affecting estate planning.
This is really self-empowerment.
Right.
I love it.
right.
Yes. You have questions, Mia? Yes.
No, it's just, very enlightening, especially in time of COVID.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
with sudden death happening nowadays.
So it's
yeah.
really now. So, hold on. I have so many other questions, Tito said. So, would you like to proceed? Just go on with what you're telling us, and then we'll just pop in with some of our questions. Like, how do you do it? Can you hear us? Ooh. Are you frozen, Tito Sid? Parang na-frozen siya. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait a bit. So, for those of you who have just popped in, we are talking about estate planning with our guest, Sid Dela Cruz. And he's not a lawyer, but he's a user. So he's sharing with us the benefits of estate planning for him. There he is now. He's back. We lost you temporarily, Tito Sid.
So, Tita said, do you necessarily have to have assets to be able to, to have to do this, to go into estate planning? Do you have to
Yes,
have assets?
yes, you have to have some assets. And most people have assets, but they probably don't realize it. Like, for
Right.
example, your house,
Okay.
that's an asset. your money in the bank, your car, motor vehicles, your boat, okay, your watches,
Jewelry.
your personal properties and real estate properties. They're all assets.
Your jewelry, your gold,
Yes, yeah,
yes,
all those things
stocks,
that when
investments.
something happens to you, you would like to be passed on to whoever,
Hmm.
they are part of estate planning.
Even your antique collections, paintings,
Yes, yeah,
artworks, yes, everything.
right.
Your signature
Yeah.
shoes, signature
Yeah.
bags. Could be, if you like, if you're a celebrity, I don't know. Go ahead, Tito. Okay, what else?
Now, again, I would like to remind everybody that we are not estate planners
Right.
ourselves. None of us, the three of us, none of us are lawyers. We are not advertising. We are not selling anything. We just would like to educate people and open their minds about wills, living trust, and estate planning. Okay.
All right.
We're
Yes,
not here
sir.
to give legal advice.
Okay.
No.
Now, to make estate planning more uh, in terms of conceptualizing it, because it's hard to understand it. It's fuzzy. It is like an idea. Uh, let's think of the wheel of a car or the wheel of a bike or the
Okay.
wheel of a wagon.
All right.
Estate planning is like the wheel. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the wheel has got the hub, which is the center of the wheel,
Yes.
and it's got the spokes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The hub or the center of the wheel would be your assets, your
Okay.
money,
Assets.
your investments,
Mm-hmm.
and also your goals and strategies. Okay. The spokes of the wheel would be like the instruments or the devices to make your estate planning be held together. And they are living wills, last wills and testament, power of attorneys, living trust, and the likes.
Okay.
And just like any will, it requires maintenance. Same thing with estate planning. There is maintenance involved. There is lubrication, calibration,
Wow. All right.
changes, and tweakings and amendments that you have to do over time.
Okay. Right. Right.
I guess
Okay.
the next question, Tito Will, is it expensive? The
Uh,
maintenance costs?
it depends on your situation. It depends on how complicated your assets are. It depends on how complicated your life are.
I
Like
see.
if you are in several marriages, several divorces, several children with various people, then it becomes complicated, and the cost is anywhere from maybe anywhere maybe from $300 to $30,000.
Oh yeah. All right. So you can also because of, let's say, of the mobility of, many of us are moving from state to state, so that's why it's also very important to keep keep ourselves to date with what's going on from state to state, right? The current
Correct.
laws.
And it is important that you ask the help of an estate planning lawyer
Oh,
You mean
to
I
put
can't
it
do it
together.
very
I
specific.
You
can't
can
do it
do it
myself?
yourself,
I can.
but
All right.
again, it is hard to be doing it yourself because you have to follow federal laws and state laws.
All right.
What
Okay.
So it's important that you do it with a professional, an estate planning lawyer.
So it doesn't matter if, let's say, if my income is very small or, my house is very small. It doesn't matter, right? The size of my estate. Or it
Yes.
does.
dependent?
The
Yeah.
first thing that one should do is to have an inventory of
Okay.
his or her assets, like list down in a piece of paper your assets, your real property and personal property, your house and lot, your money in the bank, your investments, your IRAs, your 401ks, your antiques, your jewelry, and all those things. Put it down in a piece of paper and more or less make an estimate of their valuation. That's the
Okay.
first thing that you need to do. Do a financial inventory.
Okay. Do you need guidance to do that? To look for the value of your assets?
No, you can just make an estimate.
All right. Okay.
there's no hard and fast rule, but just an estimate, just so more or less, you have a good handle on the value of your assets.
All righty.
For married couples, Tito Sid, would it be for like an individual estate planning, or would it be for a couples?
If you are married, okay, legally married, it's got to be done as a couple, okay. But then within the estate plan of a couple would be individual wishes as well.
Oh,
All right. So this is huge.
But you've got to do
Interesting,
it. You've got to go to an estate planning lawyer as a couple.
yeah, because it's communal. It's
Yes.
community property.
Yeah. And going back to the will, the spokes of an estate plan would be like the wills or last will and testament,
Okay.
like power of attorneys, okay, like power of attorneys for healthcare, living will, revocable living trust, beneficiary designations, property ownerships. All those things would require the help of a professional.
Right.
Oh yes, it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Because we
So
don't just want to guess.
I would encourage you to consult with a professional, an estate planning lawyer, not just a lawyer. Okay, not all lawyers are created equal.
I
Estate
love that.
estate planning lawyers are the experts on this subject.
We need to look for lawyers,
Specialized,
right?
yeah.
Yes, specializing in estate planning.
Estate planning.
Yes.
How long does it take to assemble all these? Normally, based on your experience, Tito, how long did it take you to assemble all the spokes of the wheel?
The
Like a
first time
year?
I did it took a long time because I was doing it for the first time. And so I've got to do an inventory, and then I've got to list down the valuation, and then I would like to, my wife and I have got to think on what we would like to happen to these things when we pass away. So you've got to think of who should get what, and then you have to, it is always better to put it down in writing. Okay.
Yes.
So it took a couple of weeks for me to be able to do that. But then subsequently after that, once you get used to it, then whenever there are changes, there are some changes that you can just do it yourself, like beneficiary designations and all those things, like updating the assets. Okay.
Do you store this online, or your documents are all hard copies?
Well, you can make it online, or you can make it hard copies, or you can do it both.
Yes,
It
I
is
don't-
better to always do it both.
Yes, I don't want to be hacked, in case my system gets hacked. So.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is
Both.
always better, especially if you have a trusted family member. Okay. You have to have a power of attorney. The power of attorney gives that person the power to be your representative in case you pass away,
Okay.
or in case you are incapacitated, okay, or in case you are in a vegetative state and no one
True.
can make a decision for you.
Oh,
You've got to have a power of attorney in each and every one of those circumstances. A
Yeah.
power of attorney has to
Yeah.
be done, and the lawyer will do that for you.
Like in the case of Bing, right? Your friend. So she's is she still in coma right now?
The dad.
Oh, the dad.
Yeah,
Yes.
the dad
So
is in and out of consciousness.
maybe they can look for a power of attorney. Maybe there's something somewhere out there.
Right, but the
don't
thing is, the hospital, they won't allow the friend
Oh, I see.
inside.
Oh,
Unless there is a written power of attorney.
Right. Yeah.
yes.
But the
yes.
thing
Yes.
is, I guess the patient is in and out of consciousness.
For couple with young children, it's important to have a guardianship, a power of attorney, appointing someone to be the guardian.
So, Tito Sid, you mentioned those that don't have this living trust or estate planning. They go into probate, right? A lot of people don't understand probate. Would you be
Yes.
able to explain it a bit?
Yes, probate is a court process where the probate court will take over your properties, your assets, all the belongings that you have, okay, and go through the court process in adjudicating where they should go, following the laws of the state and following the federal laws. And lawyers will have to be involved, and that takes time.
Yes.
And usually, a lot of people will surface to claim part of the pie, just like what happened to Howard Hughes. Some like 200 people came up and claimed to be part of the family and all those things.
I'm a relative.
So probate is a court mandated process on how to adjudicate properties of a deceased person. Now, a living trust will avoid probate.
Right.
Awesome. See.
A last will and testament will not avoid probate. So that is the big difference.
True? Yes. Okay.
A living trust, okay, is creating a legal entity where you will put the title of your assets, and the living trust can be passed on from another spouse or from you to your children. A living trust will avoid probate.
A living trust will avoid probate.
Yes.
That's a key there.
If you pass away without any living trust, then the court will take over the adjudication, the distribution of your wealth, of your assets, of your properties.
And it will take so much time, right? Time, and then they
takes
will have
years.
to.
That takes years, depending on how complex your family situation is, on how complex your financial situation is.
So does this also include properties outside of where you're living right now? Let's say you have properties in the Bahamas.
All properties that you own
Okay.
should be taken into account, and you should bring all those documents when you see your estate planning lawyer, because the estate plan will have to take into account the laws of the states or the laws of the country where your assets are located.
Wow, that is massive. So let me just interrupt here for a moment. We were talking about abundance and wealth some time ago, Tito Sid, Mia, and our viewers. And this is what I was thinking about the other day. I said, when we aim for wealth, we also need to take care of it. We should also be equipped to manage our wealth, because sometimes we just say, I wish I would win the lottery or the casino, whatever I'm doing there. And then what do you do with your assets? So this is a very important link into this, a flow into wealth management. Yes. Because it doesn't just belong to you. It, like Tito Sid's example, some other people might show up. Hey, I'm the daughter of, I don't know, I'm wife of Prince, Yeah, go ahead, Tito. Continue, please. The other spokes. So you have power of attorney, living will. What else? What else did you mention earlier?
Revocable living trust, beneficiary designations, property ownerships, advance directives. Those are all what I call the spokes of an estate plan. Like the spokes of a will.
Yeah, they need.
There are many instruments to make an estate plan, depending on your family situation, on your circumstance, on your assets. There are many spokes to a will, and the lawyer is only the estate planning lawyer who would be able to determine what is appropriate for your situation.
Yeah. So in a span of, since you started creating or planning for your estate, Tito, how many times have you updated your?
Okay, I've updated it maybe like once a year, but those are just minor updates, like updating my list, updating my inventory of assets, my investments, okay? And you can just do it yourself, okay? But the major revisions which would require the help of a professional would be like when I moved from one state to another. because the laws of the state are different when it comes to estate.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when my first living trust was done by a lawyer in California in 1995, I had it updated when I moved to Ohio. And then when I moved here to Las Vegas, I also had it updated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it depends on how major the revisions would be. And if they are major, like transferring from one state to another, or you sold your house, big changes in your assets, in your financial situation, then you need a lawyer to do all the documentation.
Yes, to go the legal way. Yeah, that's
right.
the thing.
Right.
Tito Sid,
And
I have a
as far
question.
as cost is concerned, every major update, again, would cost anywhere from 300 to 3,000, depending on how complex it is.
Ooh, $3,000.
But the minor ones, like updating your inventory, okay, updating your beneficiaries, you can just do it yourself. So it will cost you nothing.
Right. Go ahead, Mia.
Tito Sid, I have a question.
Yes.
Most of the time, when my clients have a trust, they usually want the name of the title on the trust, not their actual name. What is the reason behind it?
Okay. The living trust is a legal entity where you title your house, your car, your investments, so that when you pass away, the living trust, in the living trust document, would outline all the things that you would like to happen. And it avoids probate.
Direct na.
So it makes it easy to transfer your assets, your properties to your loved ones. And it avoids probate.
Yes, it protects not just yourself,
Right
your
away.
assets, but also your loved ones, people close to you.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Can you
Direct
give us
na
an
siya.
example, Tito, of let's say a piece of jewelry? How does the statement look like in the document, like
Okay,
this,
a piece of jewelry
for example?
in the estate plan would be a document called List of Your Personal Properties. And so in the list of personal properties would be your jewelry.
Okay.
And you tell the person, you state the person who you would like it to go to. As simple as that. That's it.
Do you need to describe that piece of jewelry or take a photo of that? I'm just being
It will be helpful
Yeah.
if you describe it and if you take a photo.
Beautiful.
That will be helpful.
Yes.
So that in the division, it will be easy.
All
and there's going
right.
to be no quarreling about it.
Yes, yes. I know some people they
Yeah.
raffled. They they put together all this jewelry, and then they named each one and numbered each one, number 65, number 82, and then they raffled it among the
children.
Yes, the siblings actually.
Or the the appraisal value. Sometimes you have the appraisal value of the jewelry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what else? What else do we need to ask here? We have 5 viewers, and somebody said great information, Jen. Yes, Jenko, this is great information.
Very good
Yes.
information.
What are the
yes.
other questions we have, Mia? You said about maintenance fees. Yes. What else? Is there anything else, Tito, that we forgot
Valuable
to ask you?
information, yeah.
Yes. A couple of things, okay? Number one, if you've got IRAs, IRAs they're protected by law, okay? There are laws covering IRAs. And IRAs are not part of the living trust because
Okay.
IRAs have got beneficiary designations.
Yes.
So when you pass away, then the IRA document would have the list of the beneficiaries and it will go to the beneficiaries. There's no need
Okay.
for the court or for anyone to intervene. Same thing with life
Insurances?
insurance. insurance.
Yes,
You
insurances.
name beneficiaries in your life insurance, so they're outside the living trust.
Okay, very good to know.
Okay, so IRAs, 401ks, and life insurances, they're outside the living trust.
Okay. They're not part of the spokes.
Uh,
No.
it is
Oh,
it
the
is part of
assets, I
this
mean.
book as well.
But not part
Okay,
of the assets.
they are called beneficiary designations, part of this book.
I see, I see. Okay, very
Yeah.
good.
How about, Tito Sid, handwritten wills?
How about what?
Handwritten wills?
The handwritten will and testament?
Will and
Yeah.
testament. You know, you just handwrite your will.
Well, you can do that, and that is recognized, but it is always better that it be done, okay, with witnesses. Yeah, with
With
with with at least two witnesses, a couple of witnesses, uh, but they are accepted, but they've got to be signed by witnesses. And you know what? I still would rather go to a professional than just do it myself. Okay.
Yes, I think you can do it yourself
Because
initially and
Right.
then
there's a lot
bring
of
it.
laws, federal and state, that are involved. And you want to
Oh,
make
I
sure
see.
that, what you have there follow the laws.
Okay.
How about with the age of technology? How about video recorded?
Oh, that's a good question.
Video
Yes.
recorded will.
Yes, video recording is also good, and I believe they're acceptable too. Uh,
Very good, very good.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still, as far as I'm concerned, a written one, a documented one, done by a professional is the best.
So does this mean that the father of Bing, who is in going in and out of coma, his property, his estate would go into probate?
That's the thing. That's why we asked her to tell the friend to consult a probate lawyer.
I see, I see. Yes, it's very complex. My father died without anything at all. He's a lawyer.
Right.
It was a sudden death. No. Let me see. Restate that. He had a heart attack while he was doing his arnis in Rizal Park, and he never recovered from that for 10 and a half years. He went into coma for 10 and a half years, and then he just died without waking up. So we didn't know, Tito said, we did not know where his. We only had one of his. At the time, this bank. What do you call that? The passbook.
Oh, yeah. The bank book.
The bank book. We traced that, and it was so difficult to get anything. Nothing.
Right.
So because of that, my mother, she transferred the land to our names, and I don't know what else she did. She just, so I don't know, is estate planning only in the U.S., or I know we have that in the Philippines
The
too,
will,
right?
I think, in the Philippines.
I don't know if estate planning is as complex as this one in the Philippines. Tito, what do you know about that?
Well, yeah. Whether you are in the Philippines or in the U.S. or anywhere in the world, you've got to have an estate plan, and the estate plan's got to follow the laws of the land. Okay, where you are, where your property is, where you are located. In the Philippines, there is the laws of interstate. You've got to follow those. And there are various ways of titling properties in the Philippines too. Okay, and yeah, you're right. It's better that you, as parents, give away your properties while you're living, because once you are dead, it's very hard to transfer properties in the Philippines. I've got a friend. After 25 years, they're still adjudicating, they're still litigating, and could
Wow.
not settle among the 12 children.
Oh, that is so true.
How to title, how to divide the properties that
Oh
their
my
parents left.
Subdivision, yeah.
Yes. So for all our rich, super rich, our billionaire friends, take care of your estate. Take care of everything right now.
Well,
while
even
you're
if you're not a
alive.
billionaire, even if you only have like a few $1,000s, again, You don't want your children to be
Fighting,
quarreling
yeah.
over
Okay.
your assets, over your jewelry, over your piece of land.
Oh,
The
true.
best thing to do is put it down in writing
I think we
while
will.
you are still living, while you are still of good, sound mental situation.
For those of us who are in mixed marriages, like me, for
Yeah.
example, interracial marriage, so um, but it's a good thing John is not married before, so I don't think he has any trouble with his properties. So, for example, I have properties in the Philippines, and he has properties here, and etc. etc. That will be included in the estate planning, right? The consideration of where our
Yes,
properties are.
yes. They've got
Okay.
to be included. Everything has got to be included so that there's going to be no dispute afterwards.
No dispute.
Mm.
The value. What is the value for you, Tito Sid? The biggest value of estate planning for you?
Well, I am at peace, okay? Um,
Peace of mind.
One, my estate plan covers not only when I pass away, it also covers when I become incapacitated, just in case.
Okay.
If I'm in comatose, or if I'm in the hospital, could not make any decision
Mm-hmm.
about my family, about my finances, and all those things. I've got power of attorneys
Oh,
to
very
my
good.
my children.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
that they are my attorney. In fact, they are my agent. They are my representative. They will make the decisions for me.
Beautiful. Yes. Nice, nice. Hold on. Kuya Yo, do you have questions that you would like to throw in here? No? Nothing? Okay. Yes, we have one. Yeah, we have one comment there. And somebody gave us a wow. Yes, from Mr. Rex Ricarte. Okay, go ahead, Tito Sid. What else? What else do we need to know? I think we covered a lot, no?
Yes, yeah. Uh, what I would like to say is that changes in your family situation, changes in your health, changes in your financial situation, changes in the laws of the state, changes in taxation laws, okay? All those things have got to be taken into account when you develop your estate plan.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you've got to be reading and researching and studying about all those things that affect your life, affect your assets, affect your money, affect your house, affect your car, affect your assets, because they are all part of the estate plan. Uh,
This is
Also, you
so,
should be
yeah.
reviewing regularly your beneficiaries in your IRAs, in your 401ks, in
Yes.
your insurance, life insurances. You've got to review regularly your beneficiaries, because if you have births in the family, deaths in the family, um, people needing special care, all those things have got to be included in the beneficiary listing.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure that you don't, miss anyone, because that could be really fatal, if
Oh,
something
yes.
happens and somebody missed being named as a beneficiary.
Wow.
Fatal.
Wow. This is so powerful. What the value for me here is
Oh, yeah.
I earned the money. I worked hard for it. I gained all of these through my skills, my knowledge, and my intention. Therefore, I get to decide what to do with them. You know what I mean? It's not somebody else will get to decide on what to do with this.
Correct.
And
Yes.
imagine the people you leave behind.
Exactly. Yes.
How,
Wow.
how they would feel if, you know.
Yes. Especially now during COVID times, you don't know when your time's up. Thank you, goodbye.
Correct.
So get on that. Gather your documents now or tonight or
The
this
best time
weekend.
is now.
Yes, always now. Just now.
Correct. It is always good to put it down in writing,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Uh, Including the account numbers, including the passcodes,
Oh
Password.
and
my
make
God.
sure
Yes. Yes.
and make sure that your attorney in fact, or your trusted representative or agent, would know where to locate it.
Oh yes. You know, I was watching this movie. I was telling you about this Mia, last night. It's called I Care a Lot. And this is
Netflix.
not on Netflix. Oh, it hurt me so much. I mean, in the gut. It's like a punch in the gut when I saw that it's just a movie, but it could be happening, you know.
It's reality.
Yes, fraudulent intentions of the healthcare system. I'm not saying that's that, but there could be people, there could be entities who have malice towards, they want to gain something. So that movie really hurt my gut. So anyway, okay, here
Can
we
you talk? There's a listener question
Okay,
by
go ahead.
phone. Can you talk more about advanced directives, especially medical directives in this time of COVID pandemic?
Yeah,
Tita
beautiful
Sid?
question.
Yes, that's very important. An advance directive, or sometimes called healthcare power of attorney, okay, is very, very important, especially here in the United States, because there's a lot of laws, privacy laws involved, okay? It's best to get this from a professional, from an estate planning lawyer, okay? Because it's got to follow the laws of the state. Basically, an advance directive, okay, or a living will, okay, is a power of attorney document, okay, that states whether, if you are incapacitated, whether you want to pull the plug or keep on
That's important.
being ventilated,
Yes.
okay?
DNR.
Yes.
You have heard of stories of those people who were for 10 years under a ventilator. Uh,
And
if
they
you
are-
have a living will, okay, the medical professionals will follow your living will. It should express your intention regarding the use of life-sustaining
devices,
measures in the
yes.
event of a terminal illness.
True.
It expresses what you want, but does not give anyone the authority to speak for you. In some states, this document called living will may be combined with a healthcare power of attorney,
Okay.
sometimes referred to as advance directive or
This is what-
healthcare declaration.
Right.
It's got to be in writing. And I got one, and I submitted it to my doctor, and I submitted it to my hospital, so they have it. It's
So
good
that is smart.
for
So
people to have.
you give it to your healthcare provider.
Yeah,
Yeah, very smart.
You know, that's very important because my husband, he's in the hospital a lot. No, but I get asked that all the time. I don't really understand what it is.
So now we do.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, thank you for the caller for asking that because, I
Yes.
get asked all the time and I don't really know what advanced directive is.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Wow, Mia, we
and,
should
and it's got to be done, but it's got to be done when you are sane, when you're in good health, because once you are there and under ventilation, you cannot do it anymore.
And there's another question. Can you assign minors as beneficiaries or through a guardian, Tita Sid?
Yes, you can assign anybody as a beneficiary, but then there are some laws of beneficiaries that are involved. Like, for example, if you're married, your spouse has got the first priority, has got the first right.
Oh,
Wow. This is such
okay, that's good to know.
Thank you to our listeners.
you.
Thank you for the questions. Very good to know.
And the spouse has got to consent if you were to give away the money to somebody else.
Oh, is that so?
Oh,
Is that so? So
Yeah.
in planning for your estate, you have to be in agreement with your spouse?
This is in the case of IRAs and 401ks and life insurances. Okay.
Okay.
oh
But for minor things, if you would like to give your jewelry to your nurse, your watch to your doctor, for as long as you put it down in your list of inventory, that's fine.
Okay. So earlier you said, Tito, yeah, the spouse has to agree. Is that in the case of assigning certain things to minor beneficiaries? Is that what you mean?
I don't know. I don't know exactly the complete loss on the spousal benefits, but then what I know is that on IRAs, okay, on IRAs, the wife has got the first, or the husband, the spouse, or your partner has got the first right
Mm-hmm.
on as the first primary beneficiary.
Beneficiary.
Okay.
And then if you want the children to be the primary beneficiary, your wife has got, or your spouse, your husband, has got to consent to it.
Okay, the as primary beneficiary. I see, I
Yeah.
see. But your minor beneficiaries, they don't need to have a guardian. Say if both of you pass away, if the parents pass away.
Well, it is best that you have a guardian because you
Yeah.
don't know what will happen to them, who will take care of them when you pass away. If they are
Right.
minors, they've got to have a guardian.
Guardian.
And
Yes.
this is called the guardianship power of attorney.
Okay. Yeah. I have a friend, and her daughter is she has a handicap. So, and this friend has no relatives here in the U.S. So she assigned her best friend as the guardian
Guardian.
of her daughter. So I think it's especially with healthcare.
Right.
Yes, I think she knows that. That's beautiful. Anything else? I think we
Wow.
have another. Do we have another question, Kuya Yo? There's another one.
So the question is by the website, what about non-tangible properties like intellectual properties, ideas, concept, inventions? Can you talk about
Okay.
that, Tito Sid?
If there's some kind of documentation, okay, about this, you want them to be protected. So you want them to be included in your estate plan and where what you would like to happen to them
Yes.
or where they should go.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you should put it down in writing and make it part of your estate plan.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Like
Yes.
royalties.
Oh
yeah.
yes, like royalties for my book. I have an
Ah, there you
upcoming
go.
book.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, the
That's,
intellectual
that
property.
happened to Prince.
Yes.
When Prince died, $200 million of
His songs.
assets, but then that doesn't include the unpublished songs.
Music. Yes.
Okay. And up to today, I think
Wow.
his heirs are quarreling about
Oh,
those
I'm
because
sure.
they continue to make money.
Wow, yes, yes. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. That is this is such a beautiful
I
topic,
know,
and thank you
yes.
so much for saying yes to us, Tito Sid.
Thank you, Tito Sid.
Yeah.
You're
Very
welcome.
Very valuable
Very
information.
Glad to, again, I would like to emphasize we are not lawyers, we're not estate planners. We are just trying to give people some ideas. They should go and seek a professional to be able to do this properly and
Yes.
legally.
Making estate planning user friendly.
Yes.
In a sense, yes. What would your advice be, or not really advice, suggestions or parting words to our listeners, and especially to Bing, to the letter writer?
Yes. Okay. One is important to do estate planning. Okay, and people don't realize it. You should sit down with your partner, list down your assets, your insurances, your investments, your money in the bank, your real properties, personal properties. Try to determine how it is titled, who owns it right now, in whose name. Try to reflect on what you would like to do with these assets, with this money, with these properties in case of death or disability. Number two, educate yourself on estate planning, on living trust, on wills, on probates, on estate laws affecting the state where you live and where your properties are located. Number three, write down your estate planning goals. Like what are your goals? What would you like to happen to yourself in case you are incapacitated? And what would you like to happen to your properties in case you move on and pass away. And finally, once you're ready with all these self-assessments, self-determination with you and with your partner, consult a professional.
Okay.
Consult an estate planning attorney. Again, as I said earlier, not all of them are created equal. So you've got to shop around. You've got to attend their free seminars. They usually conduct free seminars or free consultation for 30 minutes. Go to several of those and try to get a good understanding.
Yes, maybe we will even call you, Tito, and ask, Tito Sid, who's your
That's
lawyer?
right.
But we're not going to do that on air, right? If we have lawyers here just listening to us, and if you feel you are better than the rest, if this is your expertise, please, contact us. We'd be happy to maybe interview you someday. Who knows, just to get more clarity. And we are on the hour of 12:59. Yes, so I guess it's time for us to go, Mia, Tito Sid.
Thank you, Tito Sid.
Viewers. It's
You're
time for us to
welcome.
For
Glad to be of
very
help.
valuable information. And for my closing quote, I have a quote from Benjamin Franklin, my katokayo. My full name is
Benjamina,
Benjamina. And he said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Oh, yes. So let's not be failures, let's not be failures.
We plan ahead.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sid.
Thank you so much. And thanks to our web listeners right now, we have 60 listeners on the web. Thank you
for
so
your
much.
questions.
Thank you for interacting with us, and you are valuable to us. And Tito Sid, and in behalf of the University of the Philippines Alumni Association, Nevada, we thank you too for interacting with us. Yeah. So phlbradio.com, you can download where, Mia?
Google Play and the Apple Store. And join us again next week, 12 noon on the dot.
On the dot, where we give you answers. Yes.
Through life coaching processes.
Thank you so much. Have
See
a
you
great
next
day.
week.
This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio. Just like a friend from back home.
Hi, this is Gary V. Listen to a Filipino radio experience right here in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.
PHLV Radio.